Are you doing this fine Sunday morning? Well, on the daily financial news, we have to unfortunately talk about a nearly tragic event, and frankly was tragic. Loss of life was had. Of course, we are going to talk about the Trump assassination attempt. Apparently, at least one, if not two, folks lost their lives in the stand. I want to talk about this from kind of a financial and business perspective. I want to talk about this from what I think it means for the future of the economy. I will leave the other pundits to talk about everything else. So one of the first things that I hope happens out of this event is we actually de-escalate things. One of the things that we have seen over the last several months, in fact, 5 days ago, the President of the United States saying in a private meeting to donors, we have to put a bullseye on Trump. What I hope happens is we de-escalate the situation. We can't continue to call our political adversaries Hitler and fascist and all of these things without realizing that you could incite exactly what happened. The other thing that I hope happens is we, frankly, unite as a country. One of the things that I remember post 9/11 was how it felt like, at least for a moment, we were together. And, hopefully coming out of this, and we'll know in the next couple of days because it could get wild. It could go the exact opposite direction. But my hope is we unite behind a message that this is unacceptable. And, we call out the media. The media has been a huge kind of, stirring the pot. Angry messages, negative headlines. You hear me call out the doomers all the time, but the media has been doing similar things in the political environment for too long. I do have questions like all of you. I will give you two of mine, and then we'll move on to the financial news. One, how the heck could a roof line within 150 yards or 200 feet or whatever it is of a past president be unguarded, unwatched? That is either a gross oversight or on purpose. I don't know. And then, of course, like a lot of you, I want to know what's going on with the actual perpetrator. Was this some individual lone wolf? Was this a paid actor? All of those things are questions that I have for myself. At the end of the day, I believe President Trump just won the election. Why do I say that? Well, I think it's pretty obvious if you pay attention. If you are a Republican voter or someone leaning that direction, you are going to show up and vote. If you're on the other side, you have a candidate that frankly can't string sentences together, and we all saw what happened at the debate. You are probably not as passionate, and you will likely not show up. I don't know if this will quite be a Ronald Reagan Mondale election, but I do think it is undoubtedly Trump 2024. I think it is a lock at this point. And again, I'll go back to where I started in this. My hope is the left de-escalates their vocabulary. You can't keep calling somebody Hitler and not expect something like this. In fact, if you were, in a time machine and, this is on the media. This is on all of that. We should let democracy and our votes take this, move this forward, not bullets. So crazy stuff. So again, I do think at this point, Trump is the 2024, will win the election, will take over in 2025, I guess. So yeah, it was a wild day. And again, I hope goodness comes from this. All right, let's switch gears into the actual daily financial news. We'll go over a couple of things that happened on Friday that could be market moving, frankly, have already been market moving. PPI, unlike CPI this week, PPI came in hotter than expected. I would argue significantly hotter than expected across all four metrics, both year-on-year, month-on-month, headline, and core. Is this a sign that CPI will be rising in the near future? possibly. Is this a sign that maybe there's, inflation is going to have a round two? When you get inside PPI and you look at the metrics that actually roll to PCE, specifically things like medical expenses, it actually looks like it'll be rather benign. Remember, folks, PPI is like wholesale prices, where CPI is consumer prices. You can have PPI rise without CPI rising. Typically, think of this as margin compression. So, again, very interesting. It is interesting that Friday came out hot PPI, but the odds of a rate cut in September are significantly spiking. I don't know if you checked it. I checked it this morning. 96% chance of a Fed rate cut in September. That is the highest I have seen to date. The good news is we'll know in July. The Fed meeting at the end of July. I believe Jerome Powell, if he believes a September rate cut is coming, he will telegraph a September rate cut. I will stand by my prediction, and right now I'm in a very, very small island of 4% that believe the Fed will wait for one extra meeting and then do 50 basis points in November. So again, the smart money, the professionals are nearly all calling for a September rate cut, but I'm going to stay where I'm at. I oddly feel good about my November rate call, even though 96% of the experts are calling September, but we shall see. Something else that happened on Friday that was market moving was consumer sentiment. Consumer sentiment fell to the lowest in 8 months. Last month was 68.2. Expectations were 68.5. As always with these economic metrics, they mean nothing to you. We're looking for trend and expectations. So again, the trend was from consumer sentiment to improve, where in reality, it sank. It not only sank, it sank a lot. It actually came in a low of 66. So again, the consumer is strained. The consumer's not feeling good. The consumer is, consumer sentiment worse than expected. All right, what's happening next week? We got a lot of important economic numbers, a couple of Fed speeches that we should talk about. And it starts off big with Monday. Monday. Jerome Powell is speaking. And we will also get the Empire State Manufacturing. I saw somebody post something about good old Nicky Leaks from the Wall Street Journal. I agree with you. I think Nick is a mouthpiece for the Fed. I think he is used to get the talk track out early. That said, I'm not going to change my opinion. And unlike all the other experts you watch, I will admit when I'm wrong. In fact, I have a t-shirt that says swing and a miss. So if I'm wrong, I'll own it and we will just move forward. But boy, if I'm right, we're going to celebrate kicking the butt out of the other 96% of the experts. Keeping going on Tuesday, we got retail sales. I think that's the big number of the week. What's going on with consumers, right? We've often seen consumers say one thing and act differently. Consumers' retail sales will tell us that on Tuesday. Home builder confidence, not sure how that could get any better. Expect that to be a pretty weak number. We will also get the Fed Beige Book and housing starts on Wednesday. Again, housing starts will be interesting. It will likely be weak, and that will roll into GDP. Again, I have called for a start of the recession either June or July of 2024. Housing starts could help with that. Weekly claims will be interesting. We obviously had 4th of July week last week. The number was better than expected, but frankly, it's a dirty number, meaning there was only 4 days, not 5. So let's see what happens. Do we have some give back? Do we have a pop? Is it continuing lower? Weekly jobless claims will be important. We also get U.S. leading economic indicators. Will these economic indicators report a recession, expansion? Very important. And then on Friday, we will have 2 Fed speeches. So again, lots of stuff going on next week. What else do we got? We got some mortgage data. But before we do that, folks, if you are a member of school, my One Rental at a Time school community, I got a treat for you, a surprise for you. We are actually going to do a call at 10 o'clock today, so a couple of hours. with Dan Bird. We are going to talk about the 17-year cycle we discussed last week. We're also going to take your stock questions. So again, if you are in school and you want to know what's going on in the stock market, feel free to join that session. Just go to One Rental at a Time School. I think it's called Calendar, and you will see the Zoom link for our school session. So again, that should be interesting. It's time for disrespectful offers. I was communicating with Miss Beth Traverso the other day about her market. She was saying we're not quite seeing disrespectful offers. And then like 48 hours later, I got a text. Wow, disrespectful offers are back in a big way. She got 3 in a single day. So yes, folks, it is pretty wild. San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly, rate cuts will be warranted, but refuses to endorse a July rate cut. It definitely seems like a lot of people are pointing at September, so we will get there. To actually give you the PPI numbers, which I have here, expectations for headline was 2.3, came in at 2.6. Expectations for core were 2.5, came in at 3.0, so pretty significant misses. And then at the end of the day, we've got Chief Economist Lawrence Yun I think he's of NAR, National Association of Realtors. I think I got that right. He thinks that 6% mortgage rates unlocks the housing market. Folks, you've heard me talk about this for a long time, that the housing market is broken. Lawrence Yun thinks that supply and demand will come back at 6%. Last thing I will say about the school community, I don't think I've said this before, but if you have any interest in coming to our Vegas event, which I believe is February 15th and 16th. It is Saturday and Sunday of President's Day weekend 2025. We will be releasing tickets in the school community first, and then in the general public. General public should go on sale August 1st. We'll make them available to the school community probably July 24th. So folks, inside school, you will have 1 week to buy your VIP tickets or general admission before anyone else. It is my expectation, it would not surprise me if more than half the tickets are sold. And frankly, there's a chance, let me think about this. Yeah, there's a chance that all the VIP tickets are sold to our school members. So folks, if you want to get a part of the event, you want to guarantee a VIP seat, I suggest joining school. It's $20 a month. You will get weekly calls with various experts. You will have Wednesday accountability groups with Frank, old guy REI, and you will have all of the free education. Plus, we are almost at 200 students, and that's where I think the group really starts to move forward. Folks, take care. Have yourself. Let's all pray for some de-escalation. Let's vote. Let's let the ballot box, as opposed to bullets, handle the political environment. And yep, I do believe Trump just won the election. I think it's over. Take care. Have fun. Later.